Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. Several people were reported dead when a gunman opened fire at a crowded mosque in New Zealand's city of Christchurch during afternoon prayers. Local media reported up to 6 people were dead. South Island City was placed on lockdown as police hunted for an active shooter. All schools in the city have been placed in lockdown in response to a serious ongoing firearms incident. Central city buildings, including the civic offices and central library, were all locked down. The city council offered a helpline for parents looking for kids attending a mass climate change rally nearby. The attack happened as some of Bangladesh cricket players disembarked from a team bus and was about to enter the mosque for prayers. Bangladesh Cricket Board spokesman Jalal Yunus said most of the team were buzzed to the mosque in Christchurch and were about to go inside when the incident happened. The entire team escaped unhurt after the deadly shooting. Meanwhile, addressing media, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern termed the day as a black day in the history of New Zealand.
This is one of New Zealand's darkest days. Clearly, what has happened here is an extraordinary and unprecedented act of violence. The person who has perpetuated this violence against us is not. They have no place in New Zealand. There is no place in New Zealand for such acts of extreme and unprecedented violence, which it is clear this act was. For now, my thoughts, and I'm sure the thoughts of all New Zealanders, are with those who have been affected and also with their families. My thoughts also to those in Christchurch who are still dealing with an unfolding situation.
Well, for more on the story, Abhishek Jha, correspondent tracking that for us, joins us on the phone line. Abhishek, good morning. Abhishek, we heard about mass shootings there in Christchurch in New Zealand. Give us an update on what exactly has happened. We've got unconfirmed report that one shooter has been caught, but give us more on what exactly is happening there on ground zero.
Anil, there are reports of one shooter having been arrested and one shooter having been killed at least, but since the whole operation, the sanitization process is still on, so even police is saying that these are not final figures and we'll have to wait until the final figure is confirmed. Meanwhile, this act is being labeled as some sort of hate crime, and the attacker is believed to be from Australia. And these are the initial reports that police is yet to confirm. And meanwhile, the whole process, the area is being sanitized. The police forces have mobilized their all of their resources, and the shooter. The public have been asked not to come out of streets and stay indoors. Those videos and viral videos and those misinformations. Those have been asked not to be, straight across.
Okay, Abhishek, also give us a sense. Is it just one attack, or is there multiple simultaneous attack that's been carried out in various parts of Christchurch?
Actually, there are 2 mosques there which are reportedly been attacked. Meanwhile, as the police commissioner of New Zealand, Mike Bush, has also said there are one mosque at the Christchurch and there is an adjoining church also. And at one church, one mosque, there were at least 300 people at the time of attack, and they are reported to have multiple injuries that can run in 2 figures also. But there have been multiple injuries also because it's been just 2 hours almost. So total number of figures and casualties are yet to be ascertained by police. Injuries have been taken to nearby hospitals, and the whole area is cordoned. Police is taking all actions. The shooters are still active, and the process of sanitization is still on.
Okay, one quick word on the Bangladeshi cricket team. They were there to play the 3rd Test match against New Zealand. Give us a sense what exactly transpired, because we've seen a tweet there from Tamim Iqbal, one of the players of the Bangladeshi team, that they are safe. But give us a sense. Were they entering the mosque, or they were inside the mosque when this attack took place?
Actually, the Bangladesh cricket team was arriving for prayers when the shooting occurred, but all members were safe. The team has been, it's out from the scene, and there has been luckily no harm to anybody from the team of Bangladesh cricket team. Meanwhile, to tell you more about this attacker, the witnesses have told that a man who was dressed in a military style camouflage outfit, he was carrying an automatic rifle, and he started shooting randomly people at the Al Noor Mosque. And that is where mostly the tragedy and multiple casualties have happened. And the other three, the police have also said that they were hunting an active shooter in the center of Christchurch city. So this is all the update that we are coming. The situation is still evolving and developing, so the information still keeps coming.
Okay, Abhishek, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates. We're still tracking that story. Kamar Agha, an expert in strategic affairs, joining us on the phone line this morning. Kamar Agha, what's the sense that you make? Is this an incident of hate crime, or do you see something more to it?
I believe it is an incident of hate crime, because a lot of hatred has developed against Muslims. Globally, this sort of crimes have took place in a number of countries, not only in Bangladesh, not only in Australia, but other countries as well, And in general, there is a right-wing shift also, The reason is large number of migrants, Muslim migrants from Arab countries or North African countries have moved to Europe, America, Australia, Canada. So and secondly, taken Paris, London, Brussels, or different capitals. Also in Australia, also some time back. So there is a general, hatred against the Muslim community.
Kamar, when you look at Christchurch, it's a very conservative kind of a place. It does have a violent past if you look at the history. So does this come as a surprise to you, the attack taking place in Christchurch city?
No, it's not surprise, because the far right organizations are very active. In Australia also, and in America, we have seen also in many places. So some of them, one of the person, might have, something happened to him or his family, or he must have motivated by others, and went on for rampage or shooting. So it's a very common in Western countries. We have seen in the past also, not only against the Muslims, or they have also targeted other communities as well. So that is phenomena, which is common, quite common in Western capitals. Guns are available. They buy and keep it and sometimes use it against.
Okay, Kamar Agha, thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates there on that shootout there in Christchurch. Well, we've got Sushant Sareen now joining us on the phone line. He's also an expert on strategic affairs. Sushant, what's the first sense that you get? Is this a case of, hate crime, or do you see something more to it?
Well, prima facie, it looks like a hate crime. And clearly, more information is required before we can figure out whether this was an individual action or it was a group of people acting in concert. Now, hearing of 2 mosques being attacked today, so one could speculate that it is probably a gang of people who decided upon themselves to carry out such a terrible attack. But I wonder, because New Zealand is not known really for this kind of violent crime. In America, it's pretty normal for people to pick up guns and go and kill people. But in New Zealand, these kind of mass attacks are virtually non-existent. So if this kind of an attack happens in New Zealand, where their gun control laws and others are far more stringent than what they are in America, then clearly something has gone wrong and something has been missed by the local authorities. Perhaps they never anticipated such an attack, given the fact that this kind of a thing has not happened before. But I think before one can, really say something with some degree of certainty, more information needs to come out to figure out what exactly went wrong.
Sushant, the Bangladeshi team has been touring New Zealand for the last 1 month. You know, they were scheduled to play their third test match against New Zealand. They were also, you know, very much there at the doors of that mosque and were about to go in when this incident took place. Were they the target by any chance? You know,
not at all. I think that's utter nonsense. That is just coincidence, just chance. Now, if somebody wants to act like a hero and you know, pretend as though he got saved or something like that, that's a different story. But for as of now, at least, there is nothing to suggest that these guys were targets. And if these guys were targets, then the gunman would have waited until these people had entered the mosque, you know, and became easy targets. That is just coincidence, just a chance, nothing more.
Okay, sir, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates there. The Bangladeshi cricket team very much safe and back in the hotels. They were likely to play their third test match against New Zealand in Christchurch starting tomorrow. But now the Bangladeshi cricket team, their opening batsman Tamim Iqbal has at least tweeted. He said he and his teammates were able to flee the scene and he described the